iFILM, London. iFILM.
Would you like to have a chat now with this young man here, and while we're waiting for the rest of the guys to come, at least you can get some quotes.
Well, commiserations, Michael, but that hot streak you've written has to come in sometime.
Yeah, of course. You know, after the first round tonight, I just didn't have it. It's, you know, but I have to be careful how I go about what I say here, because, you know, you can say, oh, I didn't do it right at the scales, or struggling to make, I could say many things, but you can't take away from what Ricky's just done. He's champion, and he's done a great job, and I'm not a sore loser like that. He's done great, fantastic, and all the credit to him.
Without saying anything to take away from Ricky, you have thought that junior welterweight you've now come back down to lightweight.
Yeah.
Did that impact on your preparation?
I think so. That was the question mark. I said it in the press conference earlier. There was always that question there about the weight, and after the first, I just well, the first thing I got was a perforated eardrum, so I had no communication with my corner all the way through it, and then Ricky just worked it just perfectly. He fought a very smart fight, and yeah, he did. It was an excellent job that he did, and you know, I can't take it away from him, and you know, I wouldn't say it was exactly the most exciting fight where everyone would just be screaming to see it again. But I
don't know about that. I think
really?
Well,
if anyone can do it, Frank can. So, I mean, I'd love to make that one again, but you know, it's will he fight me again? Yeah, you know. Well, look, I think in last year, I don't think he would have went the distance with me, but that last year's last year, now's now, and now he's coming up. He's done well, and can't take away. He's a great opponent. He's done excellent.
What about the future for you?
Well, like I said, I think I really, the question mark was, can I fight at lightweight? And you know, I did my best. I did everything right, and then. Look, on the night, I just was very tired after the first. I just felt like I'd fought 8 rounds after the first round. Look at all my other fights. It's just progressively at lightweight, I'm just not performing. Whereas my last fight at junior welter, I've knocked the guy out with a clean shot. I seem to be in control. So, you know, I think maybe junior welterweight might be better suited for me. But hey, this is Ricky's night. He's done well. It's his title, and he won it concisively.
The story of the fight, did you feel that it was a stage in the fight that you done well?
Oh yeah, I felt like I had a very good roll on throughout the fight, and I was in a very good position. I had the right tactic to do it, except for I couldn't hear during the right times when I needed to, and I was delivering a few shots, and then because I'd know every time I delivered a few shots, he'd go with a shot and I'd roll under. And I just didn't have the legs to get to the spot I wanted to deliver the blow that I needed to put him out. So that really hurt my game, but not having the legs there, and so. Yeah.
I think Ricky really done. I mean, they, like everybody, when they got fighting, they studied their opponents and they done their homework. And I think he utilised early on in the fight. He was using his jab well, good straight shots, and he was catching with uppercuts. And I think when he's on the ropes, when his back was on the ropes, you know, it was like he used that at times to his advantage.
To breathe.
He turned you, got round, you know, and let that left hook go every time.
Yeah, so he recovered well. Yeah. I mean, he'd go back on ropes.
And you know, it was fought at a fast, very fast pace to fight. And I thought, Ricky, you also got to take into consideration, fellas, that he could come up a weight. It's his first fight at lightweight. And you look at the size of the two guys in the ring, you know, you're a much bigger, naturally bigger guy than Ricky, and I thought Ricky really boxed superbly and intelligently, and showed, you know, you don't become double world champion if you can't fight.
How do you see Ricky fight better?
Well, I thought he did well against Martinez. I mean, you know, Martinez was a good puncher, tough fighter, and he completely negated him, didn't he? I mean, he must have been 33-1 against in that fight with certainly when you're on the other side of the pond, no one gave him a chance. But I think today he was more he boxed much more intelligently. And I know Brendan and Michael and the team, they're fabulous to work with, but they prepare properly. They're proper professional approach and professional in everything they do. And you know whatever's going to happen, that this guy's coming in, in tip-top condition. And I don't know what you're saying that you never had it in the tank. I mean, your work rate was phenomenal. Yeah. You've got such an engine inside you, and I don't think anybody can take that away from you.
You think you'll heighten Ricky Bart's profile in his own country and maybe able to go back?
Well, I would hope so. I mean, maybe he's going to become a Londoner now. Who knows? I mean, he got a great reception down here, fabulous reception, and for Billy Nelson, it was like his homecoming. We're taking him back down to Southend tonight and might keep him down here. But it was. I thought it was a really, I think they've done their homework well. They are as professional as these guys are. You look and see what happens. Certainly in recent weeks, and a couple of fighters how they behaved and not, done it how they should have done it. And then you look at these guys. This is why they got long careers. This is why they got the respect they have in the game. And they could do to take a lesson from it. I think, both these guys tonight are a credit to the sport.
He's a gentleman, Ricky. There's no crap to him. He's a straight shooter, and can't take it away from him. He's done fantastic.
Michael, after the result, how important, I guess, is your next move now?
Look, I think we have to go to the drawing board again. Obviously, I'm very disappointed with that. If a guy ever sat on the ropes like that in the past, I would have blissed him out of there, and I just didn't have it there. It just wasn't there. So I don't care. Ricky Burns, did great, fantastic. He wouldn't be there. Simple as that. There won't be a rematch. I don't think they'll want to have the rematch again. And lightweight is my weight. Hey mate, well done.
What a feat, honestly.
What
a feat.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good on you, mate. Well done. Thank you. Billy, thank you, mate.
You're getting a lot of praise from Michael. Ricky, you must be delighted with tonight's event.
Well, I've always said, the better the guy in front of me, the better I'm going to be. At the end of that 12 round, the first thing I said to make up, I got tough respect for him. But didn't give me a minute, kept coming forward. Just as tough as we expected, but again, I said in the build-up to this that we'd prepared for that with the sparring-wise. But I've always said, the better the guy in front of me, the better I'm going to be.
Couldn't you plan the fight better?
Sorry?
Couldn't have planned the fight better than when it went tonight?
Again, I treat every fight the same. I'm doing the job, and that's just the way I always look at it.
Ricky, when you went to bed last night, did you dream of the perfect fight that you fought tonight?
I don't really, because I've been doing it for so long now, honestly, see, when I say I treat it as my job, that is the way I see it. And I've always said, when I tell people that I'm not scared to get beat either, that's how my attitude is. I would fight anybody at all. If you get beat, it's not the end of the world, it's about getting in and you give it your all, which the two of us done there. But again, cracking fight, and I hope the fans enjoyed it.
How does it feel? Double world champion, 2 weights?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't feel any different to before I won the first world title. Everybody knows me, I'm just a quiet guy. I like to keep myself to myself. Steve Michael, two nice guys, but as I said before the fight, once we stepped in that ring, the two didn't get it at all. And at the end of the day, that's what boxing's all about, putting on a show.
You said last week, you thought that you would surprise a few people with the power that you bring up to this weight. You think you did that tonight?
I proved a lot of people wrong, especially when you were doing the internet and things, and I think people were writing in the papers and saying that Michael was going to walk all over me. The only people that didn't know that was obviously me and my team. We knew that the better the guy in front of me, the better I'm going to be. We know Billy and I are with me every day in the gym. I've got Alec Morrison and Frank Warren who believe in me. Again, I've never let them down. No matter who they're putting in front of me, they know I'll always give them all. And that's what it's all about.
And were you surprised by the power that Ricky possessed?
No, not really. I mean, I'm like a lot of the shots they don't really hurt. He did some pretty good body shots.
That left hook to the body was...
Yeah, he had a good left hook to the body. I was holding my elbow a bit high. Mainly I wasn't communicating with the corner. So hey, he's done great. He's been a great champion and he's done fantastic. Let's fight again. As soon as possible.
A rematch in Glasgow.
What's your assessment of the corner, Brendan?
Beg your pardon, mate?
What's your assessment of the fight from the corner?
As Michael said earlier, the first round when he come back, he was very tired. So we'll look over a few things and go from there. But how he performed after that, I thought he'd done a great job. Michael give it his all, and he come back into the fight. I thought he did a great job, and for a guy that was very tired from the first round, he come on really good. So look, and the main thing, win, lose or draw in this sport, we're sitting here, we're healthy, and that's what it's all about. So, you know, look, winners are grinners, but look, we're happy, I'm happy, he's here, he's healthy, he's safe, so that's the main thing.
Ricky, 2 great performances against Martinez and Michael tonight. Is it possible for you to rate one above the other?
Both of them were hard fights. Obviously, Michael came and gave the goal, he was in my face constantly. Again, there was times in that fight, obviously with my jab, I felt that was the key punch in the fight tonight. He was working well, but there was times, obviously, when he was coming forward, I had no option but to try and stand in front of him. That's how you see the state of my jaw. And that was for the first round, by the way. I said my jaw's sort out like that. But again, no, great fight, and that's what it's all about.
Frank, you never the question is always, what next for Ricky?
Well, I'd like him to have it next fight, and I'd like it to be up in Scotland. We'll talk about when.
All right, I'll go. Fine, okay. I'll fight a lightweight again.
Well, and we, you know, who knows who knows what it's going to be, but you know, it's an option. But we'll talk about that.
I'll even wear a kilt for you.
He needs now to have a rest and a nice bit of a break over the Christmas or New Year's, you do up there, and then we'll get back into it.
What opportunities for you now, moving up to the lightweight division?
I say that it's so much more comfortable for me moving up. So no more in any way. When I say
At the end.
the last couple of defences that was really struggling. But I think you can see with the size of my frame and that in there, I'm still out for the lightweight as well. So
I'll ask him if they got any more questions.
Please, you've been in all work at the gym and seeing progression tonight.
Frank, do you want any more questions with Michael?
No,
or
you're
can we
done.
go back and we'll get a bit of water in? All right, mate. Now, where do we see Andy for the...
He's in the office downstairs.
And that's where?
Oh shit! It's in the. There's no one here. Right. It's near the dressing. If you go down to the dressing rooms,
Yeah.
It's near the dressing rooms. It's like
Okay.
one of those doors along the dressing room.
All right, mate.
Anyway, he's down there, so.
Okay, I'll give him a call.
I like to see when I've done what I can at this level, I want to have 100 fights. That's how much I love boxing. I've always said I will never ever leave it. As long as I'm not getting hit, I'll probably keep fighting late 30s, definitely.
Did you feel there was a bit more snap in your punches as well? Obviously you've been working on that anyway when you were still super featherful.
All right.
I get it just telling with the second half of the fight. I just wish the feeling is great.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you.
You've done well, mate. Brilliant. I'll speak to you. Okay. All right, no worries. All right. Thanks.
What am I?
We can talk about him now.
So it says a lot about the sports blocks and
I've never met him until the press conference last before the fight, but I've seen him previously. I know he's a nice guy, not what really wants, but I want to fight off, and I just myself, pretty confident tonight. Yes, I think these guys, they didn't really confidence to fight up. Sorry?
No breakage, no?
No, I went in there, they checked out, just a wee bit bruising at the muscle, but...
It was a sore kipper.
Sorry?
It was a sore kipper.
No, it was the same after the Martinez fight as well, it was the same side as well.
Next year, big man, that side, isn't it?
I thought he was eating a curly whirly.
You've been involved at a high level now for most of the decade. Rate that performance tonight.
Great performance, it's the best fight. The best fight I've worked with. And as I've said for quite a wee while, people, there's still a lot to come to it. Everyone's learning all the time. And, you know, it's endless because I believe we could win a world title. I know it's a bit premature. I do think we can move up again because he's certainly, I mean, he looked massive in that ring tonight. And he's only working with 10-3. You know, he could go up to like maybe 18 months, 2 years.
Frank, apparently earlier you described to a colleague that Ricky's performance was expert roping.
Well, it was, wasn't it? On the ropes. I mean, from where I was sitting, every time he was on the ropes, he was taking so many of Michael's punches on his arms and gloves. Of course, he got through with a few, and there were times where he got, he'd sort of, Mark Hill far away would say, 6-7 shots, and he would take him on the gloves, and then he would clip him with that uppercut or with a hook, and it worked quite a bit during the fight. And I thought it was, the Scottish equivalent of rope-a-dope. That's what he did. It was rope McDope.
Frank, you've got a couple of guys in-house that will probably be knocking on your door and asking for a shot at Ricky, Murray, Mitchell. Any chance for...
Well, absolutely. John's fighting in December. He's got a tough fight at Madison Square Gardens against Rios. You never know in that. That's, again, if he's got his mind right, it's a fight that he's got a real good chance of coming away and winning. Kevin Mitchell, once he gets his tag off and he gets his community service done, he finished creosote in those fences, and whatever else he's doing, maybe we can get him back in there. Who knows? He's a silly fella. What he's done to himself is just like, most people. He's the only guy I know who seems to be doing his best to break into prison. And I think the thing is with him is that it's silly because there's a great fight there between them, great domestic fight, and there's a great domestic fight.
Sorry to interrupt. Cheers.
And there's a great fight with maybe a local derby up there with the man from Edinburgh. Well, the man from Edinburgh. You never know. Why not?
George, a devastating second round finish tonight. You must be delighted with that.
Yeah, definitely delighted. Explosive finish.
He's fighting again in December.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, definitely. You'll have to keep busy. Yeah, Frank said we'll be out again in December. That's brilliant. I've had a long, hard camp, a good camp, and still need to get rid of that. Didn't quite empty the tank tonight.
Still explosive finish, excellent combinations in the fight.
Yeah. I just wanted to control him with my jab, take away any sort of attacks that he had. He had a few in the first round, but second round was better. And then once the openings came, I just took them. And the first shot that I threw landed solid, and that was it. It was over. Nah, nothing at all. I think it must have looked much worse than what it was. First round, you're still finding your feet, you're still finding your balance, trying to get your defences tight. Synonymous with me, it happens a lot. So it didn't affect me. I didn't feel it. So it must have just looked worse than what it was. I want to keep busy and I want to be stressed. I'm one of the opponents that are going to ask questions of me. Smith's a great fighter. At the start of camp, I needed to improve, and I have improved. Cool, thank you. And then I think everyone saw that tonight. That's an interesting fight. You know, I know I can do a better job than what I've done before with Anderson, and it's up to me to. You know, I got the belt. So he's trying to work his way into a mandatory position, so maybe that fight will have to happen. I don't know.
Your thoughts from the corner end?
Happy with the second round. He has a world-class jab, and it was world-class from shortly after he turned pro, but he's just learning how to use it, and he used it really well. He used it effectively in the second round to make that distance to then show and do something. First round, I think they were both a little bit uptight actually, and George was the one that ended up throwing shots when he shouldn't have done, got copped, but he has a good chin. I know he's got a good chin. Seen him whacked a lot. Seen him hit enough to know he's got a decent chin. But other than that, no, you know, I'm happy. It was a good win. Paul got caught. Anyone can get caught at the start of a fight, and George can bang. And when you've got two fellas in there that can dig, and someone get caught clean early, that's what happens. And I'm just pleased that it was George.
For you, Paul, it was an excellent shot by George to finish the fight.
Great shot. Didn't see it, don't remember it. You know, that's boxing. I called George at the end of the first round, and you know, if that had been, it's all ifs and buts, but if that had been at the early in the round, like I got caught, it might have been a different story. But you know, no excuses from me. I got caught with a clean shot, good shot, powerful kid, strong kid, big puncher, and I got caught and paid the price, and that's off to you know, congratulations and good luck to you. Thank you. I had complaints at the time, but I'm sure if I watch it back I'll probably change my mind. You know, referees are there to do the job, and Victor Loughlin's one of our best referees, and you know, we might to argue with him. I got caught and don't remember the shot that got caught me because I didn't see it, so it's one of them things. I'm not going to argue with a referee. He's a top referee. I respect him as a referee, and if he says I was in no position, then you know, I've got to take his word for it, and that's that.
George, your last two fights you've beaten two of the best Brits around. Are you still content at the top of the domestic level and Commonwealth? Do you think?
Yeah, I am content with the belts I've got. I still got to defend them if I want to keep them outright, and that's an ambition that I have. If something bigger and better comes along and it's the right move, then 100% we'll take it. But on my heart, I'm not in the gym craving something better, because I know as long as I'm improving as a fighter, I'll get there, and I'll get there sooner rather than later. So.
You don't put time frames on it or anything like that?
No, I don't like to put time frames on it. I just like to concentrate on the next task at hand. I've just been concentrating on this fight tonight. I haven't thought about anything past that point, because when you do that, you end up paying the price for it. So tonight was just about getting the job done. I wanted to do it and try and do it in style. I think I've boxed well tonight. People have seen improvements in me, so hopefully I'll get on to something better.
Is that power, it seems to be developing as you grow older? Do you feel that that's...
Yeah, definitely. When you do strength training, when you do any sort of training, it's an accumulative effect, and I'm not going to reach my peak until late 20s, maybe even later. So I'm getting stronger month on month, year on year. So that's sort of my side. You can't rush those things. It's just also about being in the gym and improving my boxing technique, and that also takes time. So.
Do you think you've shown you can move on to the next level?
I think so. I've beaten the top guys in Britain, so I'm happy to fight top guys in Europe now, and then beyond. So just want to keep regular, keep busy.
European champion,
I've already beat that European champion, haven't I? Maybe. I can't keep bashing up poor James Egal. I can't keep taking the titles that he's winning. So I'll let him concentrate on improving. I think his last fight didn't see too much improvement. I think you saw a different side to me tonight, so you have seen improvement from me. My career definitely doesn't revolve around James Egal, so it's just about finding fights that are going to make me improve as a fighter, and I've already learned how to beat an awkward fiddly southpaw, so find something else. Yeah, definitely. You never know whether you're going to deal with it, I suppose, until you actually do, and I felt I dealt with it brilliantly. It was the highest type fight I know of, and it had sort of world title status, where it ended up being pay-per-view and sold out at the O2 Arena and things like that, and I was the one who dealt with it better than anyone else. So yeah, I think definitely mentally stronger and physically stronger as well.
Because it was a big test for you after what happened in that fight against the class opponent. This was a big test for you when you came through.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can't. It's easy winning titles than it is to defend them. So you have to make sure that you're on your game 100%. And as I say, I've been in the gym and I've been making improvements. So it was just important for me to be able to show them tonight. I think I did.
Well, I spoke to Joe after the fight. You know, Paul moved up from middleweight to super middleweight, and Joe feels he could go back down to middleweight. I don't know if that's the case, but it's a bit too soon to be talking about things. But
I got the opportunity to fight for my own title against the kids who I felt I could beat.
Yeah.
You know, and I took it, and I started. Whatever we want to do in the gym, you know, I trust Joe 110%, and if he thinks I can do middleweight, I know I can do middleweight. It's just that I can feel strong.
What we do is,
if I can do it, I will.
You know, Paul's. I look, you know, I think you know, we got a very good relationship, and whatever it's going to be, we're going to stick with him and do what we got to do. It's as simple as that.
It's boxing. I had a decent first round. I caught George with a nice right hand at the end of the first round. You know, that's it. It's all ifs and buts. I got caught with a cracker shot, and that's it. You know, George is a good kid.
And the referee was, you know, the first punch was tough enough to get up from, and the referee was dead right. So certainly stop it. Could have stopped it before, but it was, as Paul said, that's what it is. That's what boxing is, and that's what happened. And you know, got to move on from that, and you will move on from it. And as regarding what's the future as far as George is concerned, well, obviously Adam, George, myself, we'll go sit down and see where we go. You know, I've got a promotional deal, and obviously as a promoter, the fight I'd like to see is the 3 titles on the line. We've talked about that enough times, but that's going to be their decision at the end of the day. But they want to go down the road. If it's not to be that one, then we move on and do something else. Whatever's going to happen, he's going to be busy, and as his promoter, I'll work very hard to ensure that he gets the right moves and the right fights at the right time.
Adam, I see you flexed your jaw there when Tagal's name gets
Two-fake.
mentioned. All right. Does it wind you up a bit that Tagal does keep getting mentioned?
It just means I just keep having to say no, because I want him to improve as a fighter, and that James has got a really specific style that will work against most of the fellas that he fights, because he's used to being that awkward southpaw, won an Olympic gold medal, and so he's effective at it. But you're only going to box. How many times are you going to box somebody like that in his pro career? If he ends up with 35 fights in his pro career, maybe 3 of them will be someone like James DeGale. So he's got to move on and progress as a fighter that I want him to be and that he deserves to be. And if they both keep winning, it's a no-brainer. It becomes a huge fight. I think Frank and I both agreed that the first time it happened was probably a bit too soon for both of them, but it just so happened that they were so excited together. It was a natural fight to make. But I want George to be the fighter that I think he can be, and he needs to see different styles, not just the same one.
What time frame would that be, Adam?
What
time frame could that be a rematch?
Don't know. Listen, but Frank's saying that we can get out before Christmas, then it's back to the gym and working on the things we're working on, because he made mistakes in the first round. You can't, if 2 people are punching at the same time, you can't be the one that's higher up with your head, and that's what happened. It's happened before, and he copped the shot. He's got a good chin, but he doesn't need to prove it like that in the first round. So we've got to go back and keep working on things and just improve as a fighter. I'm not interested in talking about that fella at the moment.
Just to speak about another fight, you had David in your corner again. Any signs that he's itching to get back in the ring?
He said that he got butterflies as he's walking into the ring, but it's only down to David. You know, I don't know what he's up to, what he's got planned. He's around here somewhere, so maybe you can ask him yourself.
He's going on Strictly Come Dancing. Sorry? Well, I think we've been on a roll, haven't we? You know, I mean, you've seen some of the best of British boxing over the last, since September. Well, actually, the whole year. You know, with when I look back and see all the good fights that have taken place, but it's been phenomenal, and and they just keep coming. And you know, I think Britain's got some of the best fighters out there. I mean, when you look at what we got and the depth of the talent, you see what's coming through. It's phenomenal, and we've got a lot of fighters to be proud of, and I think can hold their own with most of the guys in the world. You know, Ricky's beaten. You know, to become a double world champion is a bit of a feat. It's a tough call, and he's done it. and beat a fight, beat Martinez in his first fight, which I thought was a phenomenal performance. George tonight, he gave a great performance. Paul's going to come back. I know he'll come back. I know he's got the gumption to do so, and he's going to certainly have the support to do it. And we've been on a roll. We've been on a roll with some fabulous fights, some great promotions, taking them around the country. Some of the best shows I've been involved with for a long time, and there'll be many more to come.
Brandon's saying about Ricky, any plans to have a celebration back in Scotland?
Yeah, I don't know if I might watch it anyway, so I'll probably go on a couple of weeks off, just take some time out and back in the gym.
When you think what we've got, next year, the first 3 months of next year, Nathan Clever's going to be out, defending his title. Tony Bellu's going to be out again. That was a fabulous fight. That's going to be a rematch down the road. We've got, many more are going to be there. George, James, all of them are going to be out fighting. So it's fabulous for British boxing. Fabulous time. Good fights, good quality fights, and we're going to keep delivering. And you're only going to see them on Box Nation.
George,
which gets encrypted, just so you know, you're getting it for free at the moment. 30th of November, you've got to start paying.
Durrell was talking about you respectfully the other day, but sort of saying that's you've got a lot of time for him to be made. What are your thoughts on that? A way of building towards the
Yeah, definitely. Durrell's a great fighter. Spent many rounds sparring with him, and it was a bit of an eye-opener for me because I feel he's an elite fighter. He's in the super middleweight division, and I'd sparred with Froch before, and then getting more rounds with Durrell, who showed up and wanted to take my head off. Believe me, it was real sparring. So if you want to be the best in the world, at some point you have to cross paths with these guys. So I don't know what his game plan is. But
you've got to look how many fights they've had. He's had, and look how many fights James DeGale's had. And look how they're. It's funny. I was watching tonight. I was thinking as you're sitting there, I thought to myself, here's guys fighting in title fights. Was it 12 fights, 13, 14 fights? Years ago, when I first started the game, British Championship, to fight at British Championship level, you'd have 25 fights or so. Now it's just in, and it's at a real high competitive work rate you see in fights. I mean, it's years ago, I remember the old instructions, go out and feel them out for a couple of rounds, see how you go. Now the bell goes, everybody gets straight down on it, and in some ways, the guys are not I don't think sometimes they're getting the schooling that they used to get from years ago, because it's being pushed, the level's being pushed all the time.
Is that dangerous, Frank? Because this time last year we were at Bristol just talking about Derek's fight against Vladimir Klitschko, and then he went in with Tyson Fury and lost. And
I think I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. And, it's a valid point. But the thing is with Derek, you got to remember, before he fought Tyson Fury, he was out in the ring for a year, training off, on, and then came in ridiculously overweight and gave, in my opinion, and I'm not taking a thing away from Tyson Fury, because he trained really well and he deserved the win because he done what he had to do. But Derek just didn't. He should have been the weight he was. And did he go in a bit? But they were offering Tyson Fury the shot against the Klitschko's, and they're doing that because I think they're running out of people to fight. But it's happening. It's happening now. People are fighting for titles much quicker in their careers than they did years ago. But maybe I don't know whether they're fitter or they're stronger. It's different. Their bodies are different nutrition, different methods, and so forth. But that is what's happening. And one thing that you do worry about is, are they picking up the experience before they get to that level? Anyway, are we done, fellas and felloresses? All done? Thank you.
iFILM, London. iFILM, London.